you're curious about what people do listening to you, I work at NBC in New York. If you ever heard of the show 30 Rock, I work at the address is 30 Rock. It's 30 Rockefeller Center. And I listen to your daily as I walk the street on my lunch. So I walk and I look at people, mostly tourists who look just like this, not from New York, or sometimes security guards like this who pretty much all look like this, and buses. These are the buses that drop off to more tourists, many tourists. I actually work for this here. This is sports, NBC Sports, which I loathe. The sports I loathe. Media I adore, but sports I loathe. I actually want to work for Seth, this fellow Seth, who broadcasts out of NBC, but that's not why I'm videoing this for you. You wanted to know? So here's me walking, usually listening to your dailies and one or two other people who are good on YouTube. This is Rockefeller Center, where people, if you are yet again a tourist, you can come here. This is where they have the ice skating rink, and this is where then more tourists sit. Many tourists sit. My most concern. Here's some cute little children, and here's a guy, a little child chasing a pigeon, which I just detest. For other reasons that I will not explain. But so this is what I do. I walk. I got my lunch and I walk around a little bit, and I see all these many people who are looking at their phones, and here's another person looking at their phone. Many times collide into you. And here are the I guess the VIP people in their VIP limos. And here's where they have the morning. I guess it's the morning show. I forget what it's called. Good Morning New York, or Good Morning something. It's right over here. It's where they broadcast it from. It's also where my ex-boyfriend was a lawyer in that building I told you about, I think, somehow, somewhere, maybe. He worked as a lawyer there, and then he got a job as a comedian here at NBC. So he was a lawyer there, and then he worked very hard as a stand-up comic, and he got a job working for Conan O'Brien, which then left NBC. But our relationship, basically, you don't need to know this, it's too much information, but took place walking around arguing on these streets. And when you often do the thing about, release your ex, I always find myself laughing, feeling that you are talking to me specifically. And here's where I'm working now, which is not where, but this is the sports division, which I loathe. I loathe for many reasons, which I shall not explain. So basically, so this is not very exciting. You wanted to know what people were doing. I guess this is not really that exciting, but it's. I thought it would be better as a visual. Oh, that's Christie's, the famous arts curator, auctioneer. I don't know, auction house. Christie's is across the street there. I actually attempted there I don't know, for a couple of days, and I found it. Well, you don't need to know that either. And we're back here. Here we are again, back at NBC, which is where they, they have TV shows.